Hey guys, welcome back. New episode of InCYde Zone presented by Wyffels Hybrids. I'm Jacqueline Cordova and I'm joined as always by Jirehl, Brock, and Remy.
Yeah.
The good news is Colin is feeling better. The
Colin is still out.
Yeah.
The bad news.
Mark him as a scratch.
He's out again. So
Well, and he misses another win.
I know.
Maybe we should just have Colin for the foreseeable future, not do any podcasts so we can get wins.
I was
every
going to say
time.
superstition.
I'm a big superstition guy. I love superstitions.
And that was a good win yesterday too. And,
It was.
it wasn't what I was expecting because a lot of the things that happened in that game usually go the other way. Like when Rocco throws a pick and on the second drive and there's a flag. Usually that doesn't happen for us. Just a bunch of things were going throughout the game where we made the ball bounce our way. We talk a lot about how Coach Campbell really harps on making the ball bounce your way. Well, when you run the ball efficiently like they did, when you play great defense like they did yesterday, the ball is going to bounce your way in so many other ways. Can't speak enough about the O-line. I think they had an immaculate day yesterday. They were pushing guys off the line. I'd love to see what the yards before contact was yesterday for our running backs because a lot of them weren't getting touched until about 5 yards down the field. And then Rocco, we talked about him a couple of weeks ago, had that bye week to kind of get back on track. And we talk about it all the time, how you could be bad off a bye or good off a bye. And these boys came out and looked like a totally different team after the bye week.
Yeah, the one thing I think of when I think of yesterday is that Hanover clip from the movie Hanover. We are back. We are so back. In the car, the clones are back. So that's the best thing from yesterday is we felt and I saw it looked like we were a team again. We were playing our best football. So that was so good to see. Proud of these guys, man. Wow. What we have gone through this year and the injuries and all the things you can talk about. Rocco's slump and his injuries it just felt like we were back yesterday. It makes you thinking back on those four losses this year and wow, if we were just a little more healthy, a little more, in tune, I think it's just, we are a solid football team. It's so fun to watch when we are, hitting on all cylinders. So that was yesterday and it was so much fun.
And like I was telling you guys, or really telling Jirehl, it was a beautiful day. The weather was gorgeous. By the time the game kicked off, the sun was beaming. It was people had taken off their coats. There were people shirtless majority of the game in the stands.
That's epic.
I shot the game in just a sweatshirt. I didn't even wear extra layers. So not only do you get this abnormal weather for that last home game of the season, and then you go and win comfortably.
What a way to go out for those seniors, man.
Yeah, it could not have been more of a perfect day. I'm not even joking. I would truly describe it as a perfect day. And I think after I walked away from it, kind of thought about it more this morning, they beat Kansas 38-14. I don't even know that it necessarily matters who they would have been playing unless we're talking about BYU. All I care about is how Iowa State played. I don't even care about Kansas in a literal sense, which, yeah, like we said, they needed that.
And Iowa State made it that way yesterday. It didn't matter how Kansas played. The way that they played, it would have beat plenty of really good teams. And obviously, I always hate playing whenever we went into halftime up and then we come back. I was second half, dang it, why can't the game just be over now? We're up 21. I think it's 21-0 at halftime. Why can't the game just be over now? Then they come out and score, and that's when, as a fan, you're okay, let's make sure that we, stop this little surge that they're going to have. And then I'm pretty sure we go and score. So as long as you continuously put up points on the board, that you're going to really have a chance to just finish out that game. And that's what they did. Defense did what they needed to do. And when it became time. So you got to give it up for those boys. Coming out the second half is not easy, especially when you handedly beat a team as well as they did in the first half.
Well, Iowa State fans definitely had fun in the stands. Some of the takeaways from this win for the Cyclones. So Iowa State controlled the entire game, 39 minutes of possession.
Oh,
When you look at other areas, dominant ground game, 221 rushing yards, 6 straight 150-plus yard rushing game.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
I felt like that was going to happen, especially on that first drive. How it was like a Carson Hansen drive on that first drive. Even though he didn't score the touchdown, he still had the big block to spring the touchdown.
it is so fun watching our run game and how we've progressed. It is like we run the football, and that's like. So it's such a cool thing for me to watch every Saturday. It's like, we're gonna go out there, we're gonna bully some guys up front on line of scrimmage, and we've talked about the O-line on this podcast specifically this year and how just fantastic they have been. Even yesterday, like watching James Neal get in space, we're pulling tackles, and they're blocking corners and they're getting moving. Like that is just so much fun to see, and obviously it helps when you have a trio now of running backs that are, hard runners. They're getting vertical. They're getting upfield. So that chemistry between the running backs and the O-line right now and the tight ends has been absolutely awesome. And now you could add in another running back. I think Aiden Flores is a great runner. I think he'll be a great runner for our program in the future. I don't know what, Carson Hansen's future looks like if he's going to stick around, but I know he's probably eligible to go to the draft. I mean, I would consider it if I was him. Like he's probably one of the best runners in the country, and I'm sure NFL scouts know that. So what the future of the running back room looks like is, having a guy like Flora now, that like you see him getting reps and carries on Saturdays. It's like, that guy's going to be a good player for our team, down the line. But, I want to touch on real quick, like senior day, like you touched about it earlier, Jirehl, like how awesome for those guys to end their career in the Jack with a game like that. Beautiful day, beautiful weather in November. You always remember your last game in the Jack. And I remember mine. It was against Texas, and it was just not that fun. So, for them to go out like that, and we could talk about this senior class up and down the roster and how these guys have changed the program and kept the program on the right direction. Guys like Tyler Morrow, just a gritty, hardworking guy behind the scenes. Hasn't seen a lot of success on Saturdays on the football field, but what he's doing in the hallways of that building are making a huge impact. So.
Which always makes me sad because, Jirehl, you didn't get a senior day.
I know.
Yeah. Jake, you were saying you always remember your last. I don't remember my last game in the.
I was going to say, which one was your last game?
It would have been Texas Tech.
Nope.
That would have been your last one, Jai.
I was hurt. I was up in.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Stark Performance.
It was Oklahoma State then that year?
No, because we played at Oklahoma State. That was when I broke my foot.
Oh yeah.
We don't gotta go. We don't gotta go.
Yeah.
Get emotional on screen.
Let's not. Let's talk about the fun thing.
The fun. And yesterday was fun. Yesterday was a lot of fun.
Yesterday was fun. So, I mean, the run game, I have a little list here for you guys. So Carson Hansen had 120 yards, 4 straight 100-yard game. Abu Sama had 57 yards with big key detail, big third down conversions. Aiden Flora, 38-yard touchdown, longest touchdown run of the season for him. And then this was a fun detail I found. First time 2 Iowa State running backs have crossed 600 yards in the same season since 1982.
That's interesting.
I mean, not really. Most of the time, one running back gets most of the load while the other is a spot back. But now you have 2 running backs who can both take the load. Obviously, Carson missed the game, so it got Apu up to 100 something in that game. And I mean, these two guys, no matter, who's back there, you can rely on them. And Carson goes down with a little injury yesterday, but you're not too worried because you have Abu right behind him. So definitely two running backs that you have trust in with the ball. I don't know. I don't think either one of them have, put the ball on the ground recently. I can't remember either one of them, fumbling it in recent games or anything like that. But, you have two guys that you can trust, and that's kind of the results of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when Carson Hansen goes down like that, I was just like, oh my gosh, of course. Out of everything that happened, we're having a great day. Another injury. Let's just stack it on, But it does help when you have a trio that you can rely on. And of course, Abu, has experience and reps, so that's good. But I have been seeing a lot of people on my lovely app X now that I still want to call Twitter.
I still call it Twitter.
I know, I do too. Calling thinking the injuries are staff related, and
oh yeah, I
kind of want to just I don't think that's necessarily correct. Like, a lot of people are thinking we need a new strength and conditioning staff. I think we have some of the best strength and conditioning coaches there is. I think Coach K is awesome. Like, he knows what he's doing. On the contrary of injuries, we're also manhandling people. Like, you watched the game yesterday, and Iowa State is clearly the more physical team than Kansas. Mm-hmm. Up and down the field, offense, defense, you can tell there's a difference. So that comes from a strength and conditioning staff. Injuries, happen, and they're fluke. And, it's not really a staff issue. So injuries can happen whenever. You can get injured by, rolling your ankle and walking to class. Anything can happen to get an injury. But, we have one of the best staffs in the country. I just want to, let people, that's my stance on it. I've seen a lot of people talking otherwise. So. Yeah,
that is a big thing. And when I was back in town for that BYU game, I ran into Dr. Schulman, and I was asking him about it, and he said, you can quote me on this. Kids are just playing too much, from a younger age now. They're just out. They're doing a lot of actual, playing sport instead of just, training, working out and stuff like that.
Right.
It puts a lot of stress on the muscles and everything when you're not training your body instead of actually doing the activity. And then he also said that they're not getting enough rest. I mean, I don't know how people understand. In college, it's you don't get many breaks to go back with family and stuff. You're constantly moving from one thing to the next. Season ends in December or January or wherever you're at, you're back by the end of January. No matter what time the season ends, you're back by the end of January.
Oh, yeah.
And you have winter workouts until March, and then you have a little bit of a break. Then you go straight into spring ball, and then it goes summer ball, and then you go fall camp. So there's not this break where you can really rest your body and stuff like that, and it gets like that because you have to be ready for the season. I think coaches really stress being ready for the season, mentally and physically. But it puts a stress on your body, and when you've played so many snaps throughout your years growing up, it just hurts you.
And again, we started our season 2 weeks before it normally starts. So when you start in Ireland, in week 0, you got to start fall camp earlier. So it's just a long season. I can't believe we're on our last game here coming this week.
Yeah, that's very valid. That people, I think, are also forgetting the weirdness in the season with the scheduling of week 0. And I mean, I'm sure from a fan's perspective, when you start to see so many guys, just because I saw this in wrestling too, I think fans just want to understand. And as we know, Matt Campbell keeps those injuries close to his chest, right? So it's really hard when they're trying to understand, well, why is my team getting so hurt? Why is everyone getting hurt? And I remember Dresser said something that I'm sure can be echoed for a lot of programs, that he's like, we did everything right. We didn't change anything too much in our training. It just kind of happens. Sometimes it really does just happen.
Yeah.
I mean, look in the NFL. Like, those guys have millions of dollars that they put into their bodies. And
Yeah.
look how many big injuries that there were this year on big players. Mm-hmm. Like, a lot of NFL guys, our own Brock Purdy, which he didn't play for like 7 weeks. Like that it's a big thing across all of football, not just at Iowa State.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great point, Jirehl.
Yep.
Any fantasy owner out there, including myself, it's like, what the heck? My fantasy team is just all over the place. I got guys on the IR and stuff like that.
You're a waiver demon.
Yeah, I'm hitting the waiver wires every week to find a quarterback. So yes, that's a great point, Jirehl. It's not just Iowa State, it's a ton of players. It's why we play a physical game.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it really is just kind of the nature of the game, right?
Yeah.
Well, when you guys look at this game, really big picture, right? Like we said, it was a perfect day. There wasn't a moment I think anybody could have said they felt nervous. Like, you just got to see Iowa State play really good football. In the beginning, when do you think it clicked for you? Like, oh no, they're in complete control and this is about to be a good game. Was there like a moment that made you feel confident in how the rest of the day was going to go? Or, I mean, a specific person? How are you feeling watching that early part of the game?
That first drive of the game. The first drive of the game, I knew instantly. We just looked a little more put together. Rocco, once Rocco got some passes going there, I was like, okay, it's going to be a good day. So the first drive, I was like, it's going to be a long day to be a Jayhawk. But, we talk about the offense a lot, but the defense too, like the first couple drives, like the defense, the presence, I felt their presence. So that was awesome. Like, so really in the first quarter, I'm like, we're back. We are so back. It's going to be a fun game to watch. Mm-hmm. And it was.
Yeah, I think definitely in that first half, I think it was after the second drive, I texted you guys and said this bye week definitely changed this team.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And that was definitely, that was when I definitely saw enough to say that mark this as a win already. And I don't watch Kansas very much throughout the season. There's really no point for me to, other than when they're playing like BYU, like the other top teams in the Big 12. But like, I hadn't seen anything out of Kansas that could have combated what Iowa State was giving to them offensively and defensively. Special teams, I don't think was too much of a factor yesterday either way. But I mean, they did their job. And then kind of the way that we were playing, play calling, I knew that if it just continued to go at that pace, there was no way Kansas was going to have a chance. The running backs and the O-line were, when you win in the trenches, it's hard to win anywhere else for the other team. So, yeah, definitely after that second drive.
That's a great point on the play calling, Jirehl. I think that, the play calling yesterday was awesome. Just super smooth from Mouse and Ben Bramer's dump pass at, touchdown. I was even fooled. I thought we were running the ball, and that was
for that though.
That was I don't know. Yeah, I mean that play was awesome. The camera guy was fooled. Mr. Bramer, what a play. We've ran the tight end dump for a long time, and people still cannot figure it out. So essentially, I'll explain to you listeners. A tight end dump play is what we're calling. Is like the tight end looks like he's going to go up and block a linebacker, and he just kind of dumps over the top of the defense, and it's called a dump pass. The old Tim Tebow pass is what people think of. So, oh my gosh, I was fooled. So exceptional play call there. All game really. The diversity between the run and pass, and when we pulled out certain different types of play, the pulling of the guards, pulling of the tackles on the line, like awesome. So it was so much fun.
So Jirehl mentioned it, I think, that the O-line had a really good day. Remy, I'm curious, just being a former lineman, I mean, talk about what made them go into this game and be successful. What did you see from them yesterday?
Yeah, I think, one, it starts with keeping your quarterback clean, and our pass protection was pretty solid. I don't know the stats if we let up any sacks at all, but Rocco pretty much had his day and his time back there in the back. So that's one. That's a huge thing. And then in the running game, get on double teams. I think when we get on double teams and we run a lot of, or we used to, I don't know if they still call it now, but we run a lot of duos or run action where you're getting a lot of double teams on the offensive line and with tight ends. So I think the ability to get to double teams and get up to the next level, that's taking this group beyond what I think they thought that we're capable. And I mentioned it earlier, like getting these guys out in space. Those are hard blocks. You are 6'6", 325, and you have to go out and pull and run and chase down a corner that's 6'1", 180 and runs a 4'2", 40. Like that, those are hard blocks, and for those guys to get out and get loose. So there's so many things up and down the board that I think we're just on a whole different level this year, and I appreciate it, and I have loved watching it this year, and I hope we can continue this trend with our offensive line, because we do lose a lot of guys up front next year. So it'll be interesting to see how we develop. I know, some guys have got some run this year, but, this offensive line this year, I think, fans should be appreciative of what you're watching, because it's not, normal how good these guys are playing. And by the way, they should be on the Joe Moore Honor Award, midseason honor roll, or whatever it's called. It's ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, they are playing top-notch football. I'd love to talk with the voters on why they were not on the midseason honor roll watch list. Anyways.
Yeah,
call me if you want, Mr. Joe Moore.
The little one sack.
I actually think it's Aaron Taylor that runs the board, so call me, Mr. Taylor. I'd like to talk about the Iowa State offensive line.
We'll clip it. Sack yesterday, Jake.
One sack?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Well, and can you imagine being in that game when Iowa State controlled possession for nearly 40 minutes?
Exhausting. I bet those guys were exhausted yesterday.
Probably get nice
the game had to be one of the fastest 11 a.m. games I've ever watched in my life.
Yes, I will say it felt even faster probably being there when they were getting ready, like when the band started coming out to line up waiting for halftime. It, like, all of us media on the sideline were like, oh,
what?
Halftime's here. So I did. Again, I will never wish football season away, but I was selfishly like, oh, heck yeah, we're just rolling through it. No, it was great. And when bringing up Rocco, I was waiting just because he had himself quite a day.
Oh, yeah, he did.
So he joined Brock Purdy as the only quarterbacks at Iowa State with at least 25 wins. He is also tied for the most wins by an active Big 12 quarterback and fourth nationally. He joins Brock Purdy and Brett Myers, the only quarterbacks in school history with over 9,000 yards passing. He became the 10th player in Big 12 history to have 9,000 passing yards and at least 60 passing touchdowns and 19 rushing touchdowns. What else we got in this list? My gosh. So he completed 78.3% of his passes, his 10th career start reaching the 70% mark.
Oh, gosh.
And I mean, There's still 3 more things to read. Like, that's just how good of a day he had.
Yeah. Yesterday, at one point, I think it was on the second drive after the penalty that called back his interception, he threw a pass to, I think it was Eskelson on the sideline, and I was like I literally said to myself, surgical, because like he was surgical yesterday. He was dotting yesterday, fitting the ball in tight holes and everything like that. When you have a quarterback who had a slump that he did, you'd love to see a game where he just comes out on fire. That's exactly what it was yesterday.
Absolutely. And to see it happen, it's like, okay, it makes you so excited to see because, whether it was an injury or just the yips like I have in golf, you love to see him back in a groove, and props to him. He's got the pressure of pretty much the whole team, the whole fan base on him, and why he's slumping. And for him to come out and play like he did yesterday, it solidifies all those stats, why he's, so highly, up on these stats from Big 12 or whether it's Iowa State. Like he's for sure on another level of quarterback play. And it helps when he has a lot of good weapons too. Brett Eskelson. I mean, that's a guy at the beginning of the year. Quite frankly, I didn't really know his name. I didn't. You guys were telling me he got some run last year, and I just did not remember his name at all. So for him, his year he's put together, man, what a player. Obviously, Iowa State's wide receiver U. I was able to, over the bye week last week, I was in Nashville to watch my fellow, Cyclones and Houston Texans play the Titans. And my goodness, are we, a wide receiver U contender? Because Jaden Higgins is one of the best wide receivers in the league, no doubt about it, and he will be. Jalen Noel, Hutch. I mean, see those guys ball. Anyways, not to get sidetracked or anything. I just had to throw a little shout out to those guys because that was a fun weekend last weekend. But Rocco. I mean, he'll go down as one of the best to do it in the Cardinal Gold. Which, speaking of Cardinal Gold, how about those helmets yesterday?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Here, I got a picture for you.
Great decal. But on the tip, though, can't believe people were actually calling for him to get benched.
Yes.
Well,
I was going to say that before Remy brought up the helmets, but it's crazy to me that Rocco, although had his, little slump there, whatever it was, and people were just so mad and calling for him to get benched and saying all these things. And it's like, but Rocco still consistently his name is still consistently up there. Like even in games we've sat and talked about on this podcast that weren't great to watch, that didn't result in wins, there was still like sneaky ways that Rocco was making an impact in these records and just like the success he's having just in general. So I will say I'm very biased. I love Rocco. I am a huge fan of his. So it was really cool to see him have that success yesterday, and that, like you said, the weapons on that team. I'm glad that they're all able to feel good about it together, like as a whole unit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
no, yeah, I think more to your point, Jirehl, on him being called out to be benched, it was probably more. It's not saying like he was, a bad option at quarterback. Like it was more probably for like a confidence boost. Hopefully, take some pressure off him.
I think you're giving fans too much credit.
No, what? No, benching to give confidence. That's not the way to go about it at all.
What? Why?
You bench somebody and say, "Hey, get your confidence back on the bench." No. I've never gained confidence sitting on the bench. The only way you can gain confidence is with some action, getting out there and doing good things. And that's exactly what he did.
I guess that's fair. I see both sides of it.
Yeah, and I don't think fans were saying bench him so he can get some confidence. I think they were being fully irrational, saying, no, he's bad.
Well, yeah, I might have a different perspective on it, but...
Look at Jake trying to stay positive.
He is our positive king on this pod.
I know. I guess sometimes too positive.
No, I mean, you need that, right? You need that sometimes.
It's more, my point was, it's more like to take the pressure off him. Not, I shouldn't say confidence, maybe that's not the right word, but when you have you could tell he's feeling the pressure of how he's playing.
I can guarantee you this though, as you have the C on your chest, you are the quarterback of this team. You see it across the NFL when they be benching their quarterbacks, and it's hard. I mean, Bryce Young's probably the only one that got his confidence back after getting benched. But a quarterback's such a touchy position where it's not like corner. You can bench your corner and be like, show me something in practice, be better. Like quarterback, it's kind of different because if that other guy comes in and he's not good,
Right.
you're automatically going to go back to the quarterback.
It's a fair point.
Did he even gain confidence by getting benched?
This might be our first debate on the podcast.
It honestly might be. Because I was gonna say you're giving me war flashbacks to when Brock Purdy got taken out of the Cyhawk game.
I do remember that.
See, and like
I think it helped, Jirehl. It did help.
it did. It did. But do we know what we have as our backup quarterback right now?
Mansky,
I know.
Moberly. We got some
Moberly.
dudes in that room.
I know. I know who they are, but do we know exactly like what they bring to the team other than a running aspect? Because that's all I've seen.
It's a great point.
Valid.
It's a valid point.
We knew Hunter could chuck it.
We did know that.
Could chuck it.
We knew Hunter could throw the ball. That's for sure. I wish. By the way, I wish
all
on that point, it made me think of. I wish our guy DH could play yesterday. Deshaun Hancock, Kansas Jayhawk, but he's hurt. So I wish he could have been out there. But
Valid.
Campbell's motto is just a little look into Campbell's motto on the transfer portal. He has always said, "Oh yeah, transfer if you want to transfer and it's the best thing for you. Great, we'll just play you and beat you."
We'll schedule you. Yeah, just schedule you.
nothing against transferring, or that's just a funny little tidbit I threw in there.
No, we love that. Well, before we dive into these helmets, because I know that's what we really want to talk about.
Yes.
We have to give love to our sponsors. Which, as always, our show is presented by Wyffels Hybrids, who are a proud independent and proudly focused on farmers. If you're gearing up for next season, now is the time to work with a seed company that lets you do things your way. Wyffels helps you grow on your own terms with elite corn hybrids and local support that's second to none. So plant smart, plant strong, plan your independence with Wyffels Hybrids. You can learn more about them at wyffels.com. And then we have our good friends at Farm Story Meats. It is the holiday season, so highly recommend for all of your people who love grilling, smoking meat, all that fun stuff, as Remy does here on the pod. Farm Story Meats is your source for Iowa raised premium beef and pork, and there's tons of other products in there too. Delivered straight from local family farms. If you want to stock your freezer the right way, check out their customizable meat boxes. We talk a lot about those meat boxes. They're high quality, locally raised meat delivered right to your door. They do deliver here locally, and then you can also look into if you're out of state. So support local farmers.
Which I should just say, I smoked some ribs yesterday.
Yep.
For the game, and it was kind of last minute, so I went to Hy-Vee and I got some ribs. And I will never, from here on out, never not use as Farm Story Meats, because those ribs were just they weren't quality, and it messes up your smoke. And I know Farm Story has what you need, so never again. But yes, the meat bundles, we'll be ordering one for Christmas. Absolutely.
Yeah, I saw your post on Instagram. Remy Smokes Meat on Instagram, and I was looking for the hashtag Farm Story Meats. I was looking for it.
I didn't use them. The next one, I will use Farm Story Meats.
You learned.
Absolutely.
Well, and I'll use this as a moment also to give a quick shout out to the Cyclone Fanatic shop. If you're still trying to find Christmas gifts for your family members, your loved ones, we have all sorts of gear: football, basketball, wrestling, all the things you need for your Iowa State Fanatic loved ones. So go check that out, cyclonefanaticsshop.com. We have a ton of some fresh gear in there for you guys to buy. I mean, winter sports are in full gear. You're going to need new stuff to rock at Hilton or on the road. The Cyhawk for wrestling is next weekend. Better make sure you have your stuff for that.
I think I need some wrestling gear, because I think I'm buying into this wrestling program this year. I think I'm actually going. You
don't want the robe though, do you?
What?
You don't want the robe though, do you?
The what?
The robe.
Oh no, not the robe. Not the robe.
I feel like you would get really hot in it.
Yeah, no, not the robe. But I do need some wrestling merch this year because I think we have a solid squad.
We'll get you some.
And I need to go to a meet this year. I think that's on my agenda is go to a wrestling meet.
You
I
should.
loved going to the Cyhawk when we were in school.
Oh, that was the best.
I was
That
gonna
was the
say.
best.
Get to the Cyhawk. It's going to be a good
Crazy,
one.
man.
Yeah.
And last
we don't-
thing,
We got
Go
to beat
ahead.
them this year. Sorry. We got to.
fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed on that. But I can't think about it too hard yet.
You know, me and Jirehl are huge Coach Dresser fans. We love Coach Dresser.
Love Coach Dresser.
Love Coach Dresser.
I love that. I love to hear that.
Huge Coach Dresser.
As a wrestling girl here, or wrestling chick, as some people have called me out in the lots, I am proud. I'm so proud to hear that you are such big fans.
We love the way he went to bat for us after
He
all
did.
that stuff happened.
He did. He really did. Like he was
Killed it
saying
for us.
he was saying the quiet parts out loud.
Yeah.
And I love Dresser for that. He might not
He's-
even know who I am.
He's a savage. Like he does
Savage.
not care.
No cares.
Oh, and also go buy C-Dub's new book.
Oh, I can't wait to read this.
Look at C-Dub, looking good. Nice
Yeah.
lineup on that beard.
Yeah, he, published a book, Stories from 20 Years Inside Iowa State. It's awesome. I helped put in a lot of photos, so you have to go buy it for that too.
Absolutely. You're not buying this on, we can't buy it on the Kindle. We need all the photos.
Yeah, you got to go do fanaticbook.com.
Fanaticbook.com.
Yeah.
The hard copy.
Yes, hard copy. There's a color version too, so that you can get all the photos in color.
Yes, I want that version.
Sick.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know. It's super cool.
Good.
Which, speaking of, I need to get better at reading. I feel like I'm not a great reader.
Sorry.
I have a couple books I need to read. I have a Kenny Chesney book I need to read, and I also need to read this C-Dub book.
Maybe you need to tell Campbell to still send you the book. Doesn't he give the team a
Oh
book
yeah,
to read?
book of the year. Yep.
You should tell
I'll be
him
the
to still
I'll be the
give it
first
to
to admit that I did not do a lot of reading of those books.
you. Well, when Chris hears this, I'm sure he'll give you 10 books you can read.
I'm sure. Yes.
Okay, let's talk about the helmets. Oh, wrong one. Not the book. But let's talk about those
Helmets.
white helmets with I don't even know what the official name of this Psy is. Because I don't like when it's called
Cynado.
no, did some people say he's in a blender?
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I don't know what that is. Really.
But no,
But-
those helmets were beautiful. They looked wonderful yesterday.
Beautiful. I could not think of anything better to wear on the senior night. Like when I saw those on Friday, I was just like, oh my gosh, like this, we are so bad. That was actually the first thing I was like, okay, we're gonna take it to Kansas. It wasn't the first drive, like I said earlier. Like once these logos dropped on the decals, I'm like, okay, it's gonna be a long day to be a Jayhawk because those are epic. Those I want every piece of merch anyone puts out there. I want it.
You imagine how cool it would have been if that was in the middle of the field. Like that would have been crazy. If
That
would've
would have
so
been
awesome.
sweet.
It's in the middle of the field.
I think I might make a request to order some of those decals because if you see behind me, my helmet right here,
Yeah.
or right here. Like it makes my helmet like I feel like my helmets I have now from my playing days are just kind of lame.
I never
And-
got my helmets.
Yeah, I mean it just makes me want to order those decals to put on these helmets that I have.
I need you to get. Did you get to keep your jersey?
I got my bowl game jerseys.
Yeah, this one's the Cheez-It Bowl.
Nice.
The gear's like a big deal for us players. Like I know
yeah,
the fans.
it's like
the
your own
fans love to talk
trophy.
about it too, but like us players, we take pride in what we wear every Saturday. It's like the old saying: "You look good, you play good," and it's a real thing. So I'm sure those players were stoked to see those, in their lockers before the game. So it's a real thing.
Do you guys know ahead of time? I know you said sometimes they might change the decision, but like, do they tell you like on Friday when you guys are at the hotel, or is it truly a surprise?
there's for sure a little rumor mill that goes on throughout the week.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
There's for sure, we can kind of ask around and figure out like what's the deal this week, like what are we wearing? Like I remember like going up and down the hall. I think we're wearing black this weekend. I think we're wearing black.
Yeah.
And so it is fun. It's something to talk about in the facility.
Guys like me who was back in the equipment room all the time with like the equipment guys, just shooting the shit, just talking about anything, all sports around. I got a lot of the scoop on what was going on, what kind of gear we were getting, what uniforms we were wearing for each game. So that's kind of how the rumor mills start. Somebody in the equipment room is kind of blabbing or something.
Interesting. Well, so before I ask you a question about the defense, I did want to ask this. I forgot to ask it earlier, but when it comes to your quarterback, obviously Brock Purdy had the it factor, right? And clearly Rocco has it too. When you're on the team and you guys are like, getting to know each other and you're practicing day in, day out, all that fun lingo for the team, as an individual, how do you know, like, oh yeah, my quarterback has it? Like, what is it? Is it in the way they're showing up for you guys in the locker room or how they're leading you during the game? Is it when you watch them? I guess it's a little different for you guys since you were on the offense. Of course, it's a little different, but like, what makes you know, like, okay, my quarterback has it?
Yeah, I need to see it in the play. I mean, I'd love to say like, that what they do like off the field, like yes, it has a part in it, but I need to see it in the play. Like, going back to Brock Purdy's first start against Oklahoma State, like the run that he has, and scores a touchdown on that run, and like you see how the guys come around him, like in a situation like that. We're going through a quarterback limbo, and then this guy comes in and it's making plays for you. Things that, might not be, a lot of people talk about Brock in a system in the NFL now, but he makes those like dog mentality plays. Same with Rocco. Like last year when Rocco was, I don't know how many like fourth quarter drive, game winning drives, like it's stuff like that shows you, and it might even be in practice where you see it in the play, where because in practice the defense is chirping a bunch, and if you see Rocco rip a touchdown and he's getting in the defense's face talking that stuff, like things like that, where he's got that dog mentality. That's what, like, to me, that's what it means to have like that it factor. Like, like he's not going to back down to the defenders just because they're trying to hit him every play. Like, no, he's going to talk his stuff. He's going to go out there with his guys, make sure his guys are right, and make plays to win a football game. And Rocco and Brock definitely brought that.
Yeah, I agree, Jirehl. Like it starts with the playmaking, and you see those plays, and you're kind of like, oh yeah, he's got it. And honestly, it happens during film. Like when you're playing and you're practicing, you're so focused on your role and your job, you sometimes don't even notice notification, but you don't even notice like half of the stuff that happens on the field until you watch it in film. So when you go back in the film room and you're sitting with the O-line and your O-line coach is like, look at this play. Like, look at this catch. Like, that's when you kind of realize, okay, my quarterback's got it. Like, that's a good ball. And, that's what's just kind of funny about it. And once you see those plays happening, like Brock's progression, like I can talk about that. Like, you saw it in film first, and then you saw his leadership. And then that it all kind of goes together. Like, okay, my quarterback is, he's got it. So it's all those things kind of put together. So.
No, that's great. I was just curious because, like we said,
good question.
He's getting it. He's getting there.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the defense also had a good day. I'll tell you what, Dom Orange was all smiles at the end of the game. You could tell he's kind of taking it in at the end of the game as everybody was hugging. and sharing a moment. What'd you guys see from the defense from what time they were on the field?
One, yeah, they were barely on the field. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But man, we've talked about it. This defense just fights, and all the injuries, all the young guys playing, like they're just so bought into the defense, and I felt the defense right away yesterday. Like I knew their presence was being known, and that's what I want. That's what I talked about a couple weeks ago on the pod. Like I just want to feel our defense a little more, and I feel them. Like they create pressure. Like Tomatoa, whatever his McDowell, however you say his name. Like talk about him as a senior. The impact he has brought to this team is something that's very great. And then Dom Orange, I mean, I speak highly of Dom Orange because I know where he's come from. They've talked about it publicly of how like Dom was just very not with it at the beginning of his career, and that was kind of towards the end of my career. And to see where he is today and how many snaps he's playing, like he's a difference maker on the field, and it's so much fun to watch, and that helps. You don't even think about it. The nose guard can help those young guys in the back just by creating havoc. So it all goes together. All 11 guys have a part in what that defense is being able to accomplish. And Kansas's offense is a good offense too. Jaden Daniels, I think is he's done some work on our defense in the past. You look at the game last year, so there's just so many things up and down that the defense is just super fun to watch, and proud of where they've come from. When we lose a ton of starters, honestly.
Yeah, and kind of to speak on that, but like Coach Haycock does a really great job of like no matter who's in there, giving them an opportunity to be successful, and some of our younger guys in the back end that are obviously filling in for Jontez and Coop, they had really good games yesterday, and obviously you want that for them to build on their confidence for the rest of this year and for next year and the rest of the years to come, that experience that they're getting. Linebackers, I had experience with our linebackers all over the place because of the injuries that we've had, and those guys have really came along. D-line, I mean, I think it's tough in a 3-down because of now you get 2 blockers each person, and our D-line is really setting our linebackers up for success to taking those blocks and stuff like that. That's why you probably hear the linebackers' names a lot more than D-line.
Absolutely.
You gotta be high character to be able to find and not getting as many tackles and stuff like that. It was a great game. Obviously, I would love to see more sacks and TFLs. We had 0 sacks, 0 TFLs. That means that every time they got at least 1 yard every play. 1 yard isn't a good gain, but it'd be nice to be able to stop them from getting any yards on some plays to kind of help our defense out and make it more second and longs, third and longs. But that's just something that the defense is just going to have to grow. And obviously they can get the job done without it, but it definitely helped to have those factors, sacks and TFLs, because they had 9 TFLs on us yesterday, and we were still able to move the ball and everything like that. So that stat really doesn't matter much, but in games where we need those, we're not going to be able to have them if we continue doing what we're doing.
No, that's fair. That's great insight when looking ahead, because they do have one more game, which it's funny to think about wrapping up the podcast because there was just so many good things that happened and so many people that had so many good moments, right? Like, I mean, we didn't even talk about that big catch by Chase Sowell, and then Benjamin Bramer had himself a day too, and there's truly not even enough time for us to sit and talk about every single thing,
which is a good thing.
Yes, it's great.
Those are great. It's good to be sitting here with another win, and honestly, one more game, and it's a very winnable game. Absolutely. But at the same time, I want people to not overlook the fact that it's the last game of the year, which for a team like Oklahoma State that has struggled, that can be a huge motivator, that it's someone's last game, senior day, and you could see a completely different game. So not sitting here thinking it's going to be a cakewalk to 8-4, but I think we have a good shot. And looking at it, like, oh my gosh, 8-4 is a solid year. So
Yeah.
hopefully we can put another one together. And I think 8-4 lands us in a decent bowl game. Hopefully not Memphis. If it's Memphis,
I don't even want to think about
don't
that.
even think about it. Don't even think about it.
It's an 8-4 Camping World might call.
Yeah, we'll end up back in Orlando probably.
Well, it sounds like Arizona. What is it? I can't remember the name of the bowl.
Guaranteed rate? No, guaranteed rate bowl?
I think it's guaranteed rate.
Yeah, guaranteed rate.
I think Iowa State's looking like a hot ticket option.
I saw Jamie Pollard was posting or something about it or anything. Anyway, I think if it's that bowl, I have some PTO time to use. So hopefully it's I might take a trip down. We'll see.
Well, that sounds like a very fun spot to run off to during the winter.
Yeah.
So I'll leave you with a few things that we didn't touch on, just because these are notable. Sweet Kyle Conradi, my favorite kicker, moved into a tie for second in school history and the most without a D in a 50-yard field goals with the 5th of his career.
Wow.
He's
Pop off.
Man.
Pop off, King.
Love it. I need to come to the 49ers.
Gosh, you don't know how good it is to have a good kicker until
That's great.
you're really there.
Great.
And I mean, shout out to Marcus Neal. He had his second interception of the season. Brett Eskelson finished the game with 6 receptions for 73 yards and 2 touchdowns, which this caught his 4th and 5th career touchdown passes, which made this his first career game with a multi-touchdown game. How great.
Let's go.
And then Benjamin Bramer, who again gave us the scariest moment this season, I feel like. He's now tied, or he's matched. Yeah, he's tied with Chase Allen. They moved into a tie for 6 on Iowa State's career receptions by a tight end list with 74.
Nice.
Dr. Allen.
Yeah.
They'll be passing him real quick then.
But yeah, and again, just so many good things. One more to go before, of course, the bowl game. I mean, final thoughts here, guys. What are we looking at? What is this?
Just keep it rolling. That's really, I mean, you played a great game this week off of a bye. Just keep it rolling. Obviously, one before the bye too. So just. That's really the motto. Just keep it rolling. It's Oklahoma State. They haven't had a great year, but don't expect anything less than their best, especially on senior day, and just get the job done. Get the job done. Get out of there healthy.
Finish strong. It's always good. It's always fun beating the Pokes down in Stillwater. My favorite place to play, by the way. So
that was my last game.
Yep, it's always fun getting a win down there in their tiny locker room that they give us. Tiny. So finish strong. If you finish this, finish with a dub down there. I mean, we'll talk next week about what a terrific job this group has put together, and so crazy. It's already almost done, but we just got to keep playing our motto of football: run the ball, get vertical, play solid team defense, run to the football, tackle well, and those are the type of things that you have to do to finish strong. And I think it's going to be a good game. I've no clue why Oklahoma State is so bad this year, but truly. I know that they're last game of the seasons are super weird and super flex. I know when we had our tough year in 2022, like every that last game is so pivotal because you have a big break on the other side and people are going to be fired up. So have to play our style of football, our A game football, and I think we're going to be talking next week about how awesome we are sitting at 8-4 after a roller coaster of a year. Those are my final thoughts.
Did you guys see Brett Eskilson's gritty when he won?
Gritty? I saw multiple popular X accounts or Twitter accounts say how bad of a gritty that was, which was hilarious. I think he did that on purpose.
Yeah, it's the Mike Gesicki gritty.
He said that he had prepared for that one. That's
awesome.
He'd been waiting for his moment. And they did swag surf yesterday.
Yes, bring it back.
They did. I unfortunately didn't get the video. I thought I did, so I'm really sad about it. But the student section was literally losing their minds doing the dance. And then I looked over at the bench, and they were doing it exactly how
That's awesome.
The team used to do it back a few years ago. So.
Oh, how about here's another thing. How about the O-line committed in the tailgate lots?
Oh my gosh.
That was probably the best thing from yesterday.
That was sick.
That is such a good move from that kid.
Now, will he stay? Let's stay on him, guys.
Hey, stay on him. Stay on him. You got to stay on. This commitment and nowadays is not just you got to secure it up. Secure it up.
That one dude was 1,000%. Then
oh yeah. God's plan.
God's plan. Happy Sunday. Enjoy the week.
Have a good week, everyone. Let's enjoy this final game of the season. It's an away game, so we all get to watch it from the comfort of our homes or wherever you want to watch the game. Get yourself a Farm Story meat box.
Absolutely. Get the smoker started up. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Well, I don't think we went off the rails today for what it's worth.
A little bit, but that'll happen.
Yeah, I guess I forgot to even mention, Aiden is busy. He's not producing. He left me the keys. So, but all right, well, we'll be back next week. Iowa State will go on the road, head down to Stillwater, and let's finish out the regular season strong, and we'll be back next weekend. Maybe Colin will be back. Maybe it'll be us three. We don't know.
Maybe.
All right, well, thanks for listening, guys.